Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to look at the subreddit r/entitledparents, where people tell us their stories of crazy mums and dads who think they're entitled just because they have kids. If you're new around here, please hit subscribe down below so that you never miss out on another video. But for now, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy some Reddit stories. Entitled Parents sends me to the hospital. I am a small mute girl that works at a McDonald's in my town, stocking and cleaning the kitchens during the day to make extra money for games, and other little things that I wouldn't be able to afford on disability alone. I also have a service dog named Bolt that comes into work with me every day, as I am always at hard risk of having panic attacks, and if it gets really bad I can have a seizure and even heart attacks. So I have Bolt there if I suddenly collapse or someone is causing me to have attacks to get them away from me, or to get me away from them. I also normally hang out in the McDonald's after I finish work for a few hours to draw on my laptop and get a small meal. I also hang out with a few of the regular people that come in. Anyway, let's start the story. This is a day that I was doing an extra job that I normally wouldn't be doing. But this day, there was barely anyone else working, and we had a usual busy day, and my manager asked me to assist the drive-thru window and counter getting the orders and drinks ready for people while they would take other orders and get payment for the food and drinks. This is not normal. I wouldn't be able to do it because the stress would normally cause me to panic and collapse. But this day, I was feeling really good and thought I can handle it. And I did for a while, as most of the people seemed to like me, as I normally try to wear a smile, and most people thought I was just some kid helping out, as I'm only 4'9" and look like a little girl. About an hour into the lunch rush, there was a break in the cars at the drive-thru, and the girl I was helping had to use the restroom and asked me to just keep an eye out. There were other people around to assist me if someone came, and there were just 2 cars left. And weren't very hard, just a few drinks, maybe $3 to get from the 2 cars, and just give them their sodas, so no real talking needed on my part. So I agreed and she was off. A few seconds later, the first car rolls up and goes off easy enough. He was a little confused why I wasn't saying anything, and probably thought I was just having a bad day. It went off without an incident. In comes entitled mother. She rolls up in a sports car. I'm not a car person, I don't know the car, but it was fancy though. And she starts out nice enough, calling me cute and asking me for my age, probably thinking I'm not old enough to work. I tried to sign to her and point to my name tag that has a little sticker. I put it on. That is the muted sound logo on most things, trying to tell her I'm mute and couldn't talk to her. She doesn't understand and gives me a weird look, before handing me a $100 bill for 3 sodas and small fries, which I immediately get worried at when she hands me, with a smug look on her face like she is that important that she carries around 100s like that. But if you go to most fast food places, you know you are not allowed to pay with anything larger than a 20, or sometimes 50. Though this McDonald's does allow you to pay with 100s, we have to get a manager to check it and get change for it, as we don't keep that much money in the cash registers. So I tried to tell her I need to get a manager and start to walk away with the bill to get my manager, but before I can even make 2 steps away, she yells at me, "Where do you think you're going, kid? I want my change and food." I look back at her and try to explain what I'm doing, and even to try and make her think I'm not just walking off with the bill, I lay it on the counter next to the register and try to get my manager again. Once again, before I can do anything, she yells at me again. "Kid," honking her horn this time. "Do you even work here, or are you just trying to steal money, aren't you? Talk to me, you brat." Once again, I tried to explain what I'm doing to no avail, and she just continues to yell at me and demanding me to get her food and money. Which all of this has started to freak me out, and I start to break down and I don't know what to do. But at this point, my coworkers have noticed what's going on and come over to try and help me, telling me to just go get the manager while they talk to the lady. I quickly run off as I'm freaking out now and want to get Bolt to try and calm down, but I also want to look like I can handle it and try to look better with my friends and manager. So I try and quickly calm my mind before getting to my manager. I get her and we quickly get back, and now there are a few co-workers there trying to explain to the lady that I am mute and was going to get the manager because none of the employees are allowed to break 100s except the manager. But she is having none of this and yelling things like, she should have just talked to me and broke the 100, or she shouldn't be working here, she is too young. In steps my manager, telling everyone to get back to work, and starts to talk to the lady with me standing behind her. The lady is still yelling everything, but my manager, showing her patience, she has not once raised her voice and tries to handle everything calmly. Getting the lady her food and telling her that she would have to go to the safe to get her change for the bill, if this is the way that she would like to pay. This is the only time in the whole conversation that my boss almost laughed when the lady said she wants the food for free now because of me and me causing her stress. At this, I almost laughed also, because my manager is nice, but she has never given out free food the whole time I've known her, and their exchange went a little like this. I want all my money back now and the food for free. I'm sorry, miss, we do not give out food for free, but I can give you a larger size on your drinks if you would like. How dare you? First you have this kid working for you, which is illegal, that doesn't even talk to the customers, and after causing me so much time and stress, you won't even give me free food. At this point, the line behind the lady is a lot longer, and other people are starting to get angry and leave, and the orders are piling up in the front, so my manager tries to just get her to move now. Miss, I'm sorry about all the inconvenience. If you would like to come inside to work this out, you can, but otherwise, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Handing back the money before the lady can respond, she shuts the window and turns away from the window, and walks me back to her office, letting the girl that was there before get back to work. She asks me what happened, and I quickly tell her my side, and she gives me a short hug as she can tell I'm getting freaked out, and tells me I can get off early, and she would still pay me for the hour I had left. I thank her and go gather my stuff from the break room along with Bolt. Just as I'm walking out the back with Bolt and my bag, the lady is back with the entitled dad and entitled kid. I quickly walk over to my usual spot in the sitting area. I get to my usual spot in the back and put my stuff down before opening my bag and getting out a dress that I brought with me, as I hate sitting around in my work clothes. They're really stiff, and I don't like people thinking I'm still working as I sit there. And walk back to the front where the bathrooms are to change. I then see an argument already starting with my manager and the parents, and I quickly stick my bag behind the counter so no one would steal it, and walk into the bathroom with Bolt. It takes me a few minutes to change, as I don't usually wear dresses anymore, but because when I woke up I was feeling good, and I love this dress, short black dress looks a little fancy but also comfy, though it has large paint spots all over it. And I had to work myself up to walk out in it. When I finally get out of the bathroom, it looks like my manager finally worked something out with the parents, as they seem calm again, but still red-faced, as they wait. And I see my manager breaking the 100, and I wave at her, smiling, thinking all is well in the world again. Going to get my bag, I panic, as I see it's missing. The way to get behind the counter is not secure, as it's just really a doorway with no door. And I go to try and see if someone has it in the store still, and hope that no one just grabbed it and walked out. When I go around the half wall that divides the two seating areas, I see entitled kid sitting at a table near his parents with my bag and all of my stuff poured out on the table, and he is trying to get my laptop open. I walk over to try and get my stuff back, and he gives me a dirty look when I try to get my laptop back from him, and he screams as I take it from him. Entitled kid is probably only 10 or 11, I get scared quickly and get my stuff in my bag and try to get away as I know what is coming. Just as I get the last of my stuff in my bag, entitled dad comes around the corner. "What the hell are you doing to my son?" "She is stealing my stuff." "Give back my son's stuff, kid." Shocked by this, because the bag is clearly mine, not only is it hand painted by me, it's bright neon pink, has handmade stickers and patches all over it. I look at him and put my bag on my back and try to do the universal gestures to say I cannot talk and the bag is mine. This seems to only make him angrier as I don't say anything, and he thinks I'm just not talking to him. "Give me the bag, kid." He reaches for me in my bag and I freak out and back up, as I really don't like to be grabbed or touched. As soon as he reaches for me, Bolt starts to bark. But before she can stop him, he grabs my arm, throws me to the ground, and immediately starts to give me really bad flashbacks, causing me to freak out to no end, and causing me to go into full panic attack and start having a seizure. After this point, I cannot fully know what happened, as the seizure caused me to hit my head on the floor and pass out, and most of the rest of the story is word of mouth from my coworkers and manager, that they told me later. So take this with a grain of salt. After I passed out, Bolt protects me and starts to howl and bark to try and get someone to come and help me while trying to get the entitled dad away from me. Seconds later, a lot of people in the store rush over to see what happened. Through my manager and a few coworkers, I know exactly what Bolt howling means, and one of them calls 911 as my manager comes to my rescue to get the dad away from me, as he was still trying to get my bag off me. My manager starts to give me CPR while she waits for the ambulance. During this, she has to take my bag off me to give me CPR correctly. Minutes later, the police and ambulance show up and I am rushed to the hospital. But in the haste of getting all my stuff together, my manager doesn't realize that my laptop isn't in the bag. After the ambulance leaves, the parents and the kid try to leave, but because the police are there, they aren't allowed to leave, as they have to get the story of what happened, and everyone in the store almost tells the same story. But the parents and the kid, no shock there. One of my friends said she overheard what the parents' story was, but also, once again with a grain of salt. Their story goes something like this. "That little girl just started going mad cussing at us and trying to steal stuff from us, and when we tried to get it back, the manager attacked us and told us to leave, and even tried to steal our money." Or something like that. But every one of my coworkers and the few regulars that were in there at the time all tell the police I am fully mute and cannot talk at all, and the bag that I stole was mine and I've had it for years, and it was filled with my meds and my house keys. Halfway getting through all the statements from everyone, one of my friends notices the entitled kid was carrying my laptop around and was trying to get it open. She quickly tells the police officers and asks if she can prove it belongs to me, which she can. She both knows my password, it's not very hard if you know me and know how much I love Bolt, knows that I keep a pen case inside and that it hangs off the laptop so I don't lose it. It also has a picture of me, my dad, and a tiny Bolt inside. So he goes and asks the kid and his parents if he can see the laptop real quick and ask if they can prove it's theirs, which they cannot, as they all try to get it to open to no avail. He then asks my friend to open it and he does it with ease, and he can immediately see me on the background, and she also gets out the small picture of my dad and me from the pen case. He lets her take the laptop and she puts it in the break room so no one else gets a chance to steal it. After getting all the statements and reviewing our security footage, the dad gets arrested for assault, which they were going to charge assault of a minor, but no one was told my true age. That shocked them again because I look like I am 10 to 13, but I'm actually 23, so it was changed to normal assault. And attempted theft through fraud. The next day, when I woke up in the hospital, all my friends and manager were there and got me flowers and a bunch of get well cards and made me really happy, especially when my sister showed up later that day, as I don't see her very often anymore as she lives in a different country now, and I only see her on rare occasions. I just gotta say, being mute must be the most annoying thing ever when you're dealing with entitled people, because you can't just put them in the place at all because you can't say anything. So yeah, I feel so bad for them. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like. And if you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so by joining the Discord in the top link in the description. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.